Hello and welcome back. It's puzzle time with Sudoku Sleuth, and today we are, before I even say today, I hope that you managed to see the video around square roots that I posted a few days ago, because today's puzzle is essentially almost like a twist on that. And, funny story from the constructor, which is rockratzero. Essentially, he interpreted this puzzle incorrectly and proceeded to try and solve it, and then struggled, reread the rules, and determined that, misunderstood it. But what he's done essentially is created a brand new puzzle using the rule set as he understood it. So today we are still doing more square roots, we are still doing more maths, and that's why you can see Sleuth there standing at the front of some kind of classroom, presumably lecturing about maths, but I have no idea why a sleuth would be. And lots of mathematical formulas there in the background on the blackboard. Well, that's enough of an introduction. Let's take a look at the actual puzzle. We've got Radical Signage by rockratzero. I think I mentioned that already. And we have the following set of rules. Although, even before I take a look at the rules, see all of these square roots, they are back. But they are back with a twist. So, first rule, normal Sudoku rules. So that means the digits 1 to 9 in every row, in every column, and in every 3x3 box. Fairly standard. Then along the thermometers, digits must increase from the bulb end. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 thermometers, no overlap whatsoever, and it's fairly straightforward. So if you imagine, for example, that this is a 4, the next digit along would have to be a 5 or a 6, or a 6 or a 7, or a 7 or 8, or an 8 or a 9. And essentially, that's really, as long as you're increasing from the bulb end, then you're okay. Just imagine like a normal physical thermometer. And if you go ahead and actually plug in a number, you can see how very quickly this collapses into all of these digits. So just remember, increasing from the bulb end. What else do we have? Digits in thermometer bulbs must equal to the square root of the 2-digit number displayed in the corresponding pill, read top to bottom. So just like the previous puzzle, which I really should link, because if you haven't played it, play this one, then come back here. Whatever this value is in that bulb must be the square root of whatever it is in here, and this is a 2-digit number that's read from top to bottom. So for example, this could be a 6 and a 4 to be the square of 8, and then that would be an 8. And that would be a valid way of completing this square root looking thermometer and the 2-digit sort of interpretation of these pills. What else do we have? Digits separated by an X must sum to 10. And you can see we've got a few of these throughout the puzzle. Essentially what it's saying is these two cells, when you sum them up, must add up to 10. So imagine that this is a 3, for example, then this would have to be a 7. And that's all the rules we have for today. So if you're not intimidated by maths, if you've had your morning coffee and you're up for a little bit of a challenge, link will be in the description down below to play along. And with that said, let me restart the clock and see how I get on. Now I feel like I almost cheated with my example here, because I noticed that if, I said, if this was a 4, this would be 5, 6, 6, 7, 7, 8, 8, 9. Essentially, this is the maximum it can be. So the bulb here can't be any higher than 5. Now, I also think it can be no lower than 4, because remember, this has to be a 2-digit square. If I put a 3 in here, this would require me to do something silly like 0, 9, and under normal Sudoku rules, there are no zeros. So I think essentially what I'm just saying is every single one of these is either a 4 or a 5, because the 4 would have a square of 16, and the 5 would have a square of 25. And that's basically the shape of every single one of these square roots and pills. So let me go ahead and just fill that in, fill these in, and then the last digit in the pill, the 5, 6. and look at that here, I can see already how this is going to help. Let's fill in these thermometers. So 5, 6, 6, 7, 7, 8, 8, 9. And let me repeat it. 5, 6, 6, 7, 7, 8, 8, 9. I may as well actually complete it for all of them rather than what I was doing here. 5, 6, 6, 7, 7, 8, and 8, 9. And the reason I say look at what's happening here is we now have pairs of 5, 6 in so many places, including in the same box where we have a 6, 7. So because these are 5, 6, that can't be 6, that's a 7, that's an 8, that's a 9. Same is true here, 7, 8, 9. Not true here, not true there, because this is in a different box, so nothing stops us from repeating this digit. So if that's a 5, that can be 6, and that can be 6. If that's a 6, that can be 5, and that can be 7. So all of that is unfortunately possible now. We do have, however, 5, 6 in the column there, so that's the 4. That tells us that this is a 16, that's a 5. Therefore, this is a 6. That therefore has to be a 16 as well, and that's another 4. That's a 5. A 5 in here tells us that this is a 6 again. That's a 1. That's a 5. That's a 4. That doesn't have to be 6, 7, 8, 9, so we don't know that, although this has to be a 9, which preserves the degree of freedom that we have in here. But we're off to a phenomenal start in under 3 minutes, so this is going to be a very quick puzzle. We've got an answer in here, though, that we have here. What's left outstanding is 2, 3, but this is an x, so these have to sum to 10. If I try a 2, I duplicate the 8 in the row. That's a 3, that's a 7, that's a 2. And we have more of these. We may as well just very quickly pencil in what this is. This is 2, 3, 4, except that's not a 4. So look at this. This is not 1, 2, 3, or 4. We know it's high. It's not 6 or 9. This is 7 or 8 again. And the 7 will be joined with a 3. The 8 will be joined with a 2. Unfortunately, all of this seems to be plausible. In the column, this is again 2, 3, 4. That's not a 4. To finish this, we need 7, 8, and 5. That's not a 5 in here. So that's the 7, 8. That's the 5. Has this given us any more digits? That's not a 4. That's not a 4. That's the 4. So some digits. Got anything else that I missed? The answer to this is almost always yes, but just a quick glance around if I've missed anything. I think the answer to this now is no. So off from a great start, kind of wondering what's next. So we don't know a lot about the square root, so I'm going to ignore it for now. Is it just the x's? Is that where I take it next? Feels like it. Yeah. Also just doing like a really quick Sudoku, just to see if I'm missing anything. Doesn't seem like I am missing anything obvious. Yes, I am. 7, 6, 6, 8. Therefore, 7, 3, 2. Okay, feeling a bit better now. And 8. Right, let's see what can we do here. So this is not 4, 6, not 2, 8. This is 1, 9, or 3, 7. Too many options. I'm not delighted about that. What about this one? Particularly is highly restricted this way. So this is not 6, not 7, not 8, and not 9 because we've got a 1 in here, and that would have duplicated it. So this is a low digit, and it's not 4, and it's not 1. This is 2 or 3. It's not 3 because that would require a 7, so that's 2, that's 8. And therefore that's 9. 9 not helpful because it preserves that degree of freedom on the square root, unfortunately. Maybe the next x, how about this one? 1, 2, 4, this can't be 3 actually, because we've got 3, 7 in here, therefore this can't be the 7. So this has to be the high digit, and it's not 7, not 8, it could be 6 or 9, joined with 1 or 4. And unfortunately not resolved either. Right, back to Sudoku, I guess. We have 1, 3, 9. Neither of these are 9. That's the 9. That's the 1, 3. What else do we need to put in here? We need the 5 and 6, and they're not there. Another 1, 3, and then a 4. And you can see the 4 is actually placed. That's the 4, that's the 1, that's the 9. These are 5, 6s. That's the other 1, 3. That's a 5, 6 pair. So there's no more in this column, but good to know, but at the same time, not very useful. So there's another 5, 6 in here. With this in the same column. So I am just going to stop looking for clever things and just see what I can actually fill. So 8. What do we need in here? We need 1, 3, 7, 1, 3, 7, 9, and 2. So 9 is in none of these. That's the 9. 3, 7 is not in here. So presumably that's the 1, 2. And these are the 3, 7s. Yep. That's the 1, 2 pair. That's the 5, 6 pair. That's 3, 7. That looks correct. We know that this is not 5 or 6. So we said we need a 5, 6 somewhere in here. Another 1, 2, 3. And a 7, which is not there. How about the rows? Yeah, I think let's do these. We have a 1. This one tells us where it is. A 2. We know what these are. Therefore, this is a 4, 5, 6, I'm going to say. We need another 3, 7 with an 8 and a 9. Yeah. Pass. I mean, I can do it, it's just incredibly messy, so I'm just going to pass. I mean, I don't really want to pencil mark all of these. There's a 2 in here with a 5, 6. There's a 3 in there with a 5, 6. We know what these are. That's 4, 7, and 8. We need I am going to have to go and do a lot of pencil marking in a bit. I'm looking around trying to avoid doing exactly that, and it's just, if it is possible, it's not obvious. Is all I'm going to say. Okay, yeah, 1, 2, 3, and 7. This can also be, this could be too many things. I'm not going to pencil mark this. Oh yeah, we did say here, this is a 2, 3. Because we said we need another 1, 2, 3, a 5, another 5, 6, and a 7. No 5, 6s, no 7s. That's 1, 2, and 3. That's a triplet. That's the 7. That's the second 5, 6. That's much better than anything else I was going to do. That's a 2, 3 pair, so we should be able to do these. 9 goes here, 8. These 9s tells us that's the 9. That's the 8. That's the other 3, 7. 7, I don't know why I wrote 5. That's an 8. We've got 8s, eliminating all the 8s everywhere, except here. Which is unfortunate because, again, it preserves a degree of freedom. But beggars can't be choosers and all that. Keep going. So we need another 2, 3, 4 and a 1. And I know where the 1 is. That's the 1. These are 2, 3, 4. 4, 5, 6. Am I really pencil marking all of it? That can't be right. 4, 5, 7, 3, 7. Nope. That's not a 2. There you go. That's a triplet. 3, 4, 7. Therefore, that's a 5. And that's the 6. The 5 removes the degree of freedom. That's 6, 7. That's 5. That's 2 because it needs to be the square root of 25. 3, 1, 6, 5, 1, 3, 6. We need 2 and 6. This 6 tells us the order. That's the 2. That's the 6. We need 3 and 5. We don't know the order. For now, anyway. Has actually resolved the 3, 4, 7? Not quite. The 1, yep. 2, 1. This is not 6. This is 4, 5. This 7 has resolved. 3, 7, 3, 7. And this 3 gives us the 5, the 3. Yeah, we're pretty much at the home stretch now. Sleuth says as he pauses again. 3, 4, and 7. Oh yeah, we've got a 7 here. 4, 7, 3. This is 2 or 4. This is 2 or 4 again. That's the 4. That's the 2. 4, 2. If I've not made any mistakes, 3 and the solution to this puzzle. Beautiful puzzle. Phenomenal puzzle. I'm quite glad that you did this one, rockratzero. You know, if I'm honest with myself, I would say if I hadn't had to explain the rule sets to a recording, I would have made the exact same mistake. And would have seen in Jobo's puzzle, pardon me, that this is a pill rather than a killer cage. But as soon as you see that this is a pill, and then you realize that the thermometers are limited to 4 or 5, and then using these X's, it moves extremely smoothly. You know, it's just deduction after the deduction after the deduction, and then before you know it, you've got it solved. So I hope that you guys found this puzzle as enjoyable as I did. If you haven't played Jobo's puzzle, you really should. It is a bit more of a challenge because you've got a few more options than the 4 and 5s. And I'll see you back for the next video. Bye for now.